Peeps, what's up? It's your boy Mark here with another Life Hack 101. In today's Life Hack, I want to speak to you guys about the vortex. The energy vortex that we all have within ourselves and outside of ourselves, that the universe has, that the earth has, as above, so below. So as we move in the flow of things externally, and we see how we play a role in the ecosystem and our surroundings and our environment, we also have to go inside ourselves and see if we are in alignment with the way that our body is moving internally, the way that our soul is directing and sending instructions to our brains and to our hearts, in order for us to be placed in the vortex, in the right mode or right timing with the vortex. So we won't be going against the current, so we won't be going against the grain, so we won't cut against the grain, so we will pick the path of least resistance. Being in the energy vortex is like being inside the eye of a hurricane. You can ride the hurricane out the whole time, and you can say, I've experienced a hurricane. If you're in the eye and you sit in the eye and travel with the storm through the eye, it'll be the calmest, most serene place you can ever be in a hurricane. Because inside, in the middle, in the innermost area of the storm, of the chaos, of the outturnal, of the wind and the wish and the whoosh, in the middle of all that is the calmest, most serene place ever. It's the wall, and it's a wall around it. It's a wall blocking anything outside of it. All of the chaos, all of the turmoil, all of the craziness cannot penetrate this middle part of the eye, because this is where the center is. This is where you find the most calm collectiveness, because it is the brain of the storm. It is the middle. It is where the storm arose. This is where it will come back to. For instance, like we talk about with our own planet, and the innermost center part of our own planet is magma. It's literally just a core that is a liquid that is extremely hot, but it makes everything around it solid. See the contradiction what I'm trying to get here? Go inside yourself to the softest, most subtle part of yourself before you go and try to understand the walls outside of you. Go inside yourself, go into that vortex, be in the middle of that vortex and move with it. See what it's trying to show you, see what it's trying to sift, and see and learn, and allow yourself to move with the vortex and through the vortex. And understand, when you're outside of this vortex, things are chaotic. It's debris everywhere. It's strong winds from the storm of life. It's rain and hail from just attitudes and just energies you have to deal with on a daily basis, and including your own. But in the middle, if you choose to go into the middle, then you will find peace. You will find understanding. You will see in a different light. You will see that devastation or that storm on the outside that's blowing all these trees down and it's moving all this stuff out of the way, is preparing your path. It's molding the road for you, and you're thinking it's going against you. You think that it's working to hinder you from getting there. You try to move outside of the vortex because you want to move on your own time, right? But we all see what happens when we go outside of that, the eye of the hurricane. You see what happens when you go outside of the eye of the storm, or the calm of the storm. You see that you are in confusion. You are in turmoil. You are swept away with the waves of the world, of the outside. But once you come back to the middle and get centered, you'll be able to understand what you just experienced. You'll be able to understand why that experience is happening. And you get to see and understand in a peaceful place. So it's not chaotic everywhere and you're trying to find your peace. That peace is already there. You just have to put yourself into the vortex, into that energy signal, into that frequency. You have to put yourself there consciously. You have to make a conscious decision to want better. You have to make a conscious decision to want more for your life, for yourself, because no one ever will be able to do it for you. Only you can make that decision. Only you can choose today to worry and care about your best life. That's not saying don't worry and care about others, but I'm saying put you first. Put you first, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot move with the flow if you're outside of your own vortex. You will be swept away. You will be swept away with confusion, and you'll still think you're standing in the same spot, but you can't see because there's debris everywhere. It's winds, and it's storm weather, it's rain, and it's clouds. But when you're in the middle, you see sunlight, you see peace, you hear the birds chirping. Understand the vortex. Understand your movements with the vortex. Understand that you are working with a power that is working for you. So don't go against yourself. Don't go against your better path. Don't choose the ones with the most resistance, because you have a conscious decision to live a life of prosperity and peace and love and abundance, or you can live in discord, despair, sorrow. It's up to you, and it's all a conscious choice. So understand the vortex. Know when you're moving with the vortex, and know when you're moving outside of the vortex. Like, for instance, I want to share a quick story with you guys. I was at my daughter's school this morning for dad and daughter's donut day, and as I walk into the cafeteria, I see it's a bunch of books laid out, and one of the teachers say, "Hey, any of the kids come up and pick out a book?" So I asked, just joking around, because that's just me. I'm like, "Well, can I get a book too? I want a book." They're like, "Yeah, go ahead." So I'm just joking around, so I'm not really paying attention, but that gives my consciousness and my awareness enough freedom to direct me or give me the subtle nudges that I need to be able to see the vortex or see the synchronicities of the spiritual realm into the physical and see where I'm at. So I come across a book, and only thing I see is the last 4 letters of the book, donut. So I'm like, what is this? And I look down and I see a picture, and it's a picture of some canyons and mountains that I recognize from being Sedona, Arizona, from where my school of metaphysics is located at. So I pick the book up and I look at it, and it's literally about energy vortexes in Sedona. Now you tell me what kindergarten through 5th grader is reading about energy vortexes in Sedona, Arizona, or shamanism, or energy vortexes or signals or in maps of where they're at and they're located. That was a sign, because that was my book. That was meant for me. And if I didn't go there, if I didn't show up, then I would have never gotten my book. I would have never gotten my piece of the puzzle to say, "Hey, look, you're in alignment. Hey, look, you're in the vortex. Hey, look, everything's okay. Stop worrying so much." That was my sign, and I needed that this morning. And God, the universe, Yah, the infinite intelligence, all my spirit guides, they all knew, my soul knew I needed that confirmation this morning. And it was in a place where I was at that I was so into the moment, because I was spending time with my daughter, with my seed, with my flesh. So I was in the happiest, most joyful place that I can be at, and just a subtle sign from the universe, from God, from Yah, just to let me know, "Hey, son, you are okay. Everything is okay. You are on your path. Continue. Here's a book. Read on it, because you will be going to Sedona soon." And that's what I got. And I'm looking forward to it, because I knew it was going to happen. But this is a sign that comes so unconsciously and so suddenly that you know that it's the only sign from the ether. It's the only place that it can come from is from the ether, because I looked on that book, on that table for like 10 more minutes after that, and saw no book near that level of understanding life like that book. All the other ones were children's book. This is not a kid's book. So just understand, man. If you allow yourself to be aware, the signs will show. If you ask it would be given. If you knock and the door should be open. These are all things that you guys recite, you guys read, and have pondered upon for ages, since we were taught Christianity when we were 3 years old. So use them, apply them, use the tools now. Stop acting like the knowledge is okay. Use them, put them to use, and then use the experience to gain wisdom. Because that's the only way you'll be able to move forward, with experience. Words from the wise, man. Get in that vortex.